Okay, so your room page here, what do you think is one of the kind of big problems with it?
I'm not sure.
So what um what are you looking to do with Tahm Kench as much as possible?
Like
Like
just in the lane in
what's he
general,
do in
or
the
in
lane?
game.
What's he strong at? Yeah.
Um, I mean, he's a bully.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah,
he's
yeah. So how
he's
does
good
he
at
bully?
farm
Like what's the form of how he does damage?
with grass.
Yeah. So he's like a skirmishing
Yeah, like
champion,
quick
right?
trades. Yeah,
Yeah.
quick
So he's
trades.
like a skirmishy champ. You wanna kind of get some early trades off, and then you want to snowball really really hard. So what do you think based on that should be changed? There's only one rune that's wrong in this initial section. What do you think should be changed, considering you will permanently have the ability to skirmish and smash lane, basically?
Um, I'm not sure. I
Okay.
mean, yeah. All right.
So here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So the thing with Shield Bash is
Or
one of the main things that you want to be doing with Tahm Kench is you want to skirmish with them, and then when you're very low, that's when you want to pop your shield, right?
yeah.
So the thing is, this rune isn't actually doing anything for you for quite a considerable amount of time. So because of
That
that,
makes
what you
sense.
want to do is when you do get that lead, you want to make sure that you're getting as much of it out, as possible out of the lane. Now, another thing with Tahm Kench as well is, you can just keep pushing top lane over and over and over until you get that second tower. Now, this second tower is actually worth 550 gold. So it's basically 2 kills if you get this, which is super, super important. So this Demolish, you basically play your lane until you've got both the towers, and then you look to go around the map, and you're so strong that you're just going to kill everyone.
That makes
So
perfect sense.
Demolish is the first one, that's great. Now, second one, Triumph is all round absolutely awful. I mean, it's just a bad rune in general. It's a rune that is rewarding you once you finish a fight. When you know, unless you're like 1v2, 1v3, like a champion like Xin Zhao, you're looking to fight multiple people at once. A champion like Tahm Kench, you're looking to just bully your lane and kind of pop off. So the main thing that you're looking for here is things that can allow you to pop off more. So what other runes do you think are incredibly good? What other tree could you go in? The key is this tree is all wrong entirely.
Oh, okay. Maybe what is it? Domination.
No, domination is. I think domination is right now probably one of the worst pages that you can go for.
Oh, okay. Well, then the blue one, I
Yeah,
assume.
okay, which blue? Which blue?
The offensive one.
Yeah, which blue? I mean, they're both kind of offensive in
Well,
a
like
way.
for like scorching
Sorcery.
shit, right? The sorcery one.
No, we want to go inspiration.
Okay, so I'm
Sorry, I
just
kind of tricked.
completely wrong.
It's fine, it's fine. So the thing with Tahm Kench is one of the main things that you want to look to do is once you CC them, you want to stick to them as much as possible. Even if you land a Q on them from afar, what you want to do is either look to go instantly
Okay.
into your W or
Yeah.
chase them down. So approach velocity is unbelievably good. And also footwear is great too. You can then choose between either biscuit delivery or magical footwear. I think magical footwear is usually better because on Tahm Kench your goal is to get to that mythic as soon as you can. So you don't really want to be investing gold into boots. You want to get to your mythic item because it's like super super important for you. Um, so overall, you're trying to get Frostfire as early as possible. So you're looking to do that whenever you can, really. So in secondary, approach velocity is always the one to go for. And then I'd say biscuits is still pretty bad, actually. Go with magical footwear. So just that change. And then the last change, you want to change this to this. Because the HP rune got buffed and it's just broken. It's very, very good. So you want to prioritize that HP rune a little bit more. 140 HP maximum is a very good amount, but even early game, like 15 HP at level 1 is still quite significant. It can be the difference between you winning or losing a game.
Yeah,
So
that is.
let's see. On the Reaper client, we can also zoom out very, very far, so we can see your entire laning phase too.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that you can zoom out that far.
If you press
Wish I could play like that.
yeah, imagine. If you press Control Shift and Z, it'll allow you to zoom out however far you want.
Oh wow.
You can see the entire map and then you can just
Now, as a jungler, I want that.
yeah. Imagine you see them like literally spot
Insane.
on. Like I love on jungle this little spot because this gives you so much information as well. Because if minions go past here, it'll actually spot them on this. So it's always something to take into consideration. You can't walk past here while the minions are in this area.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know. I just like that.
No, that's awesome.
It's very very handy. Now, what do you know about this matchup?
So I was playing. So I play like so many champions that I've been getting yelled at to just like pick two.
Yeah, yeah.
One
Two's
as a
very
main,
good.
and then one as a side, and then always pick the main unless I can't.
Oh wait,
Main.
was that you that asked me that in my server not long ago, Ben? I think it
Were
was,
you
right?
went as them? No, that's
When
fine.
he says somebody's been yelling at him, he means me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could kind of piece that together. I was like, wait, I'm sure
So-
Ben asked me that not long ago.
So I picked Tryndamere to be my main, and I
Okay.
picked Tahm to be my secondary because I
Okay.
know that Tahm beats Tryndamere usually in lane pretty easily.
Okay, how hard do you think he beats him?
I mean, if you're playing right, pretty hard.
Yeah,
Like,
it's one of the easiest matchups for Tahm.
yeah, so that's the main reason I was excited because he was asking me, well, who should you play? And I was like, it doesn't really matter, but I happen to pick Tahm as my secondary, so that's awesome.
Yeah, because you're
Yeah.
just so tanky, he just can't fight you.
Yeah.
And like if you ever get a freeze, it's just over. Like, and obviously one of the big things with Trind is he hates getting CC locked, and because of obviously your stun, your W, you can CC lock him incredibly heavily, in the fight. And it's like if you ease in, to do damage to you, you guarantee your W. So it's kind of, it's super hard. And you know when he does ult, you can actually eat him, and as soon as he
I did
comes
that a
out,
couple
he'll die
times this
straight
game,
away.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did it a
yeah.
couple times this game.
But I'm intrigued to see your build, so we'll cover this, your build, as well a little bit later. I want to see what you went with. Okay. So here the first big thing is that we don't really want to allow him to get away with this. This is like illegal behavior. So here, like, he's just spun into you, like, hit him a little bit, you know? Like, because your minions
Yeah,
will
as soon as that happened, I actually said, like, I even told Ben in comms, I was like, yeah, I just threw the beginning of that because I let
Yeah.
him get ahead of me on not only in damage, but also he gets the level advantage right here, too.
Yeah, yeah. So
But
we
I
kind of
tried
gave
to-
up a little bit of pressure there. Again, it's not going to matter all that much, but, like, even here, see? Like, as soon as he goes in on you, like, you instantly would just want to turn on him. So, like, here, 1, 2, 3, and you've got grasp up, so you just hit him again, you know? Like there, just hit him more. Like as soon as he spins in, because he can't fight you there. And you've got grasp to his lethal tempo. So, you know, you'll do so much. Now, he does have a lot of sustain. But here, what do you think we need to look to do in this wave now?
Well, I got to deny him XP, right? Just
Yeah,
get
so
from-
we want to
from
actually push this now. We want to get quite a few autos in the wave now. So here, do you see how you're idling? You're not really doing
Yeah.
anything in that moment.
I should be in.
Yeah,
on the other
so
side.
whenever your auto is up and you're in this kind of level 1 position, just instantly throw an auto minion unless you can throw it at them. Because right here, see, you're regenerating so much as well. Like, it's kind of gross. And yeah, and he does get to jump on you. We do kind of cue the minion there. I think we could have just autoed that minion, no? So... we could have waited a little bit, auto it, and then queued him, and then he would have been slowed, and he wouldn't be able to chase us. But, again, this kind of minute. So here, this is a really, really good position for you. Because the wave is in a very, very good spot for you. Now, let's see what happens here as well. Okay. Again, we're rushing a little bit with this invade. So that will change your gameplay a lot, Ben. The just waiting in that bush.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know why I thought I was supposed to go on them on wolves.
Oh no. Like you only go on them on wolves if they started blue buff because they'll be on wolves when you ward it.
Makes sense.
There was actually one of them where she did start blue, so maybe that was why. Okay, so this is fine. We keep this here. So this is very, very good that we're keeping it here. Just getting it frozen like that is really, really good. Well, it's not frozen, you know, but it will turn into a slow push. But here, like, yeah, okay, good, good. So now we've got a nice slow push, and he's just going to, like, hit it back, which is completely fine with us. But here, so our positioning is another really big thing, right? Because one of the things we're doing here is the wave is stagnant in this position. So the wave is here, and he's all the way back here.
Where he is.
Yeah, so just here and just try and lick him, you know? Just throw your Qs out to him, and, you know, just try and get a little bit of damage. Because, like, right now he's got a HP advantage, but he doesn't have any minions to stand behind. So this is big grief by him. He should have been in the bush at least, just so that you can't see him. But yeah, he griefed a little bit. That was a good trade, though. So I actually want to... this does seem like a very minute thing, but I do want to cover it just because it is very, very important. So what do you think was very important here?
I'm like taxing him for CSing.
Yeah. So you rushed your minion, which was great. Got that killed off. And now he... so I mentioned this a lot. It's about making them creating this kind of situation where they have to make a decision about what they do. Because he can now either hit this minion or he can hit you. He can't do both because you've already cleared one off. So in this moment, you just get free damage on him. And it's how you kind of slowly win those trades in top lane. Because even just at one auto, it's still something. Even though he does have a massive amount of sustain, but... Okay, he's very griefing. Like, he's griefing. Oh, we hit the ward. Oh, no.
Yeah, it was that sucked that I hit the ward. I actually steal this, though, because he did that flash. That flash was so bad.
Yeah, that was terrible. We could have also just used our W there as well. So...
yeah. In the beginning of this game, I was way too passive with my W. I should have been using it.
Yeah.
I should have been, like, in and out of the bush using it against them.
I mean, it's fine, though. I mean, it worked out. Like, that stun is unreal. Okay. So, now we have to hard push this because it's such a big slow push that we just get it forced in. Actually, what do you think you could have done here? This is a little bit because you guys are duo.
Well, what I was thinking there was that I know he doesn't have teleport, so
okay.
I didn't shove it as hard as I should have, but that's where I was kind of like,
yeah,
you could kind of see me like mulling over while I was like, should I shove this or should I slow push it?
In solo queue, you shove it, but because you're duo with Ben, what do you think you could have done?
Maybe like let it build up and give it Ben a chance to gank him as soon as he comes back to lane.
Yeah. I mean, you could even potentially look to dive. Because he's super low, and this wave is huge. So what you could do is you could keep this wave here, let the next one come up, stack that one as well, and you've got all of these minions. Now, this is a little bit more advanced, but we're still going to cover it anyway. So one of the things you could do is either call Ben here and get him to come and dive. Now, if Ben comes and dives here, the game is completely over for the Tryndamere. Why do you think?
Because I mean, he would be so far behind even pre-6.
Yeah, and then, so there's all of these minions. There'll be another whole wave here. If we were higher HP, we could dive him and kill him. And even if we go 1 for 1 here, so even if we die, it's very, very worth. It's very, very worth.
Kill him under tower here.
Yeah. Oh, you could, for sure. Like, especially if Ben came, you know? Like, Ben's full HP. So, easily, you could have definitely killed him on the tower. Because look at all these minions as well. These minions are timed that you can position. So, you can both position directly on top of him and not even hit him. And then, all of a sudden, you can auto-queue. Ben can jump on him as well. You can... Obviously, he's got no CC, so he can't stop your W. So, you use your HP, and then you use your W to get out. And then Ben just kills him on the tower, and then he loses all of this. And then, ideally, you'd use your Demolish on the tower and get a plate as well. So this is kind of a thing, if you guys are duoing a lot, this is something that you both have to kind of do a lot more of, and you kind of have to get the synergy. Otherwise, you're both kind of playing solo queue, and you'll just climb as respective to your current elo, you know? So these are kind of the ways that you have to really, really abuse duo Q. But, like, yeah, if he dies here, you're already 2 levels up on him. So if he dies here, this game is completely done for. There's absolutely nothing he can do, you know? But now, see, he's just going to soak all this XP up. And now it's like, okay. It's still okay, don't get me wrong, but it's just something to take into consideration. So when you're duo, don't be afraid to ask your jungle duo for like a dive and stuff like that, especially if you know that it can be good. Because this is the thing as well, like, sometimes when people only play jungle, like, sometimes you don't understand lanes as much, you know? So, I don't know, Ben, would you have been able to see how much, like, he would have lost from that dive?
That you pointed out, I see it. I would never have seen that on my own.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's the thing. It's normal, don't get me wrong, like, it's a very normal thing. Like, if you only have a jungle, it's very hard to understand lane, and if you've only ever laned, it's very hard to understand jungle. So yeah, it can change a lot. But
I should have communicated that to him though, because I knew that wave was building up really big.
Yeah. So that's another
Although
thing.
we are definitely making the fallacy that I'm a better teammate than I am. I just wouldn't have done that.
You wouldn't have dove? Oh god.
No, I was so focused. I knew exactly that Zach was gonna walk into his red, and I was gonna kill him on his red.
Okay.
And I was. Yeah. I don't know. I play jungle probably a little bit too aggressively. I don't care about my lanes. I just care about making their jungle not play.
So this is the thing though, that it plays into that, right? Because it's kind of like, if that play would have gone down in this top side, this Tryndamere can never ever leave his tower. So all of a sudden, then you don't just have you going invading into his jungle, but Tahm can literally come with you at any point because he's so far ahead. And then there's, like, you just end up 2v1 in the Zac over and over. It's ridiculously strong. And also, if Tahm is in a very dominant position, he can use his wards to walk in and get deep vision. And, you know, it makes it easier for you because you're going to have a sweeper. Well, I mean, ideally. So because you have your sweeper, should be on your first base, because obviously wards are great, but if, say, for example, this is warded and you don't know and you start walking across like this, that's going to give the Veigar plenty of time to come up and kill the Zac. And help the Zac, and then you're just going to die there because you can't 2v1 them, 1v2 them, because Zac's passive is. Although I don't know if he has it, I haven't been paying attention.
I have a question for you.
He doesn't have it. Yeah, of course.
So when I backed that last back, I bought refill. Was that a waste of money?
No, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Like, as long as you're going to be backing 2 to 3 times and using it, then it's okay.
Because I just figured I want to just keep my sustain on him as I'm fighting him.
Yeah, it's okay. Like, it's fine. Like, refill is incredibly valuable. Like, incredibly valuable. So here, this is one thing though. We never want to go and clear these wards away when we've got a slow push, right? Because, so this is referred to as a push and pull rule. So when the wave is pushing in, what do you think we want to do?
That's a good question. Well, we want to build up the wave as big as possible, right?
Okay. But then what if he fights you and the wave is huge? What if he fights you here and the wave is huge? What's going to happen?
If my wave is huge?
Yeah. If your wave is pushing in and he fights you here, what's going to happen?
I'm not sure.
He's just going to die. You have so much additional damage in these minions. Like, these casters alone are doing 30 damage each right now.
Yeah.
So these 3 casters are doing, you know, considerable amounts of damage. So 2 autos from there. Yeah, they do so much. So in these situations, when it's kind of pushing in, you want to be aggressive, and you want to kind of deny him as many minions as possible. Like, that's kind of your main goal. So vice versa, when it's pulling, what do you think changes?
Yeah, that's when you get on the defensive.
Yeah, that's when you play defensive. You allow it to pull in. You just soak the wave when it gets into a safe position, and you just play around that. So, yeah, the push-pull is super, super important. But here it's like, okay, we've got to put this ward down, but it's like, you know, we don't really need to, right? Like, and it just allows him to get more minions than he should when we could trade HP.
That makes sense. Yeah, and we knew where Zac was, so there's really no reason to put that ward down.
So... Okay, so we get some nice cues. So obviously he's got CS, but all he can really do in this lane is just play for CS, and that's about it. Okay, Pike being Pike. Okay, nice. Oh, uh-oh. I mean, you missed the
I should
cue.
not have gone in that bush.
Yeah. So there you just reset. Because you've got TP anyway, right? So you can reset TP and catch the wave. Whereas, so in that previous play that we discussed earlier, he doesn't have TP. So he can't TP to catch the wave, whereas you can.
Sped up, that was funny. You like circled the minion.
Yeah. Kind of walking around it. So, at this point, this is a little bit of a stump, but... So here, one of the things that you don't want to do is throw your kind of Q randomly at the minion wave. So like, right, yeah, because we just want to keep it as healthy as possible, so it'll pull into us and we can freeze by our tower again and bully him.
Copy.
I
think the intent was to hit him, but then he like juked out of the way.
Yeah, a little bit.
So I should have saved it, yeah. Because I don't really get much for just hitting him one time with it.
Yeah. So here, what we could have done as well is we could have started a small trade just so that we could hold the wave. Yeah. So just start holding it, because the thing is, this wave is almost here, right? So this melee is going to come soon. So we could basically just hold it here, have a short trade with him, like 3 autos into Q stun, and then just walk away, and the wave will be here. And then he's forced to start autoing it. Now, the thing with Tryndamere, obviously, he doesn't have any wave clear, so he can't really do anything to clear the wave from a freeze. So that's why you want to get it as much as you can, just so that you can deny that whenever possible, you know? So like here, we're just going to allow the wave to come back, whereas we're full HP, plenty of mana, and we're pretty strong as well. Okay, so this was, I only just noticed this with your build, so this is kind of one of those reasons why you want to go with them enhanced boots. So in this situation, obviously steel caps are good, and you would end up getting them eventually, because obviously Trynd, Pike, Draven, but your main goal on time is to get to your Frostfire as soon as possible.
I shouldn't have delayed. I should have just went straight for the Frostfire.
Yeah. Or, you know, you get the magical footwear so that you still get those boots. You can sit on magical boots as well, because they give 10 extra movement speed compared to normal boots. And even when you upgrade them to the full boots, they still give you that 10 extra movement speed.
If you didn't know that, I should read runes better.
Yeah, so that's why they're very, very good, because you can, you know, they've only got, 10 more than you. So it's very, very useful. Okay, so a little bit of a roam here. Okay, this kind of worked out, even though we didn't get much. Like, the pressure we provided. Oh, it's very sad that the Zac got out there. Okay, this is a bit of a messy fight. I mean, we probably could have... well, this is the thing. It's very rough here because they do have a Pike. But, like, here, for example, this Q's been used. So now we can, if people want to continue fighting, we can kind of tank a little bit more, right? Because it's like we're plenty of HP, we've got our E. Xin Zhao is tankier than you, though, because God knows why. So...
I saved his fucking life right there.
Yeah, jeez.
I ended up dying for it, though. I think.
I bet you were sweating right there, Ben. I would have been.
He was.
I would have been, to be honest.
I don't even think Ben's here anymore.
Oh, yeah, maybe not.
Whoops. I was muted. The entire time I was diving, I was like, oh no, I'm dead. This was bad. This was bad. He's like, no, I got you. I'm like, wait, what?
The Tahm Kench save.
Well, the problem is I committed to that W too soon. Like, I shouldn't have done that W.
Yeah.
I figured, well, since I'm here, I might as well save your life.
I feel like the thing with Tahm Kench is, like, they've constantly just been trying to keep him as a support, and then they were like, oh, we can't keep him as a support anymore. Like, and then they buffed him, and he ended up better top, and then they're like, oh no, what have we done?
Yeah, and then they just nerfed him recently, but I didn't, as you saw from like that, I didn't really feel it that much, like the loss of regen or whatever.
Yeah, and
went from 75 to 45% or whatever.
This is where we take it a bit spicy as well. So we're snowballing, right? I mean, well, we're not snowballing,
Not
I
yet.
guess.
Not yet. We're not.
But one thing that you can do on Tahm, especially once kind of these like things are fixed and we start snowballing, is second item go into a demonic embrace.
Really? Okay.
It's unbelievable.
can-
You can actually go sorcerer's shoes as well. But the demonic brace is so good because when you throw your Q and you get the frostfire gauntlet, you get demonic embrace on the entire area that the frostfire hits.
Oh,
that is spicy. I like that.
Yeah. So you basically, that demonic embrace ticks on everybody in that area and you do so much damage. It's kind of crazy. But at this, like in this situation, the build is still a little bit bad because we don't want to go armor here. We want to go Anathema's chains. So if we're even or behind, so do you know Anathema's chains?
I don't know it that well. That's a newer item than me. I actually just started playing again.
Okay,
recently.
so yeah, it's an item which it gives you 20 haste and 650 HP. So again, it's about 15% cooldown and a massive amount of HP. And the build is just straight HP as well, so the build is really nice to go into also. And what you can do is you can use it on one person on the enemy team. So early game, probably Tryndamere. Later on into the game, maybe even someone like maybe Vega. But Tryndamere is very good to keep her on as well. And what it does is you take 1% reduced damage for each stack on them. And over time, it just goes up to 30 stacks. So
There's a play top where that would have been insane in this game, where he ends up killing me just because he's Tryndamere.
Yeah, so yeah, 30% damage reduction against whoever's it's on, but the kicker is that once it's at 30 stacks for the 30%, and it reduces their tenacity by 20%. Now, the even better part to this is this Tryndamere, he does have tenacity, so you know, it's still reduced that fully, but one of the best parts with it is if you manage to put it on somebody that has no tenacity, like let's say this Vega, for example, he has no tenacity in his kit, he hasn't built any tenacity, so say for example your stun, how long is it exactly? 1.5 seconds, so you'll actually get 20% additional to that as well. So you'll get 1.8 seconds of CC instead of 1.5. So it's super good. Like you just get additional CC duration. It's unbelievable. So yeah, if you're ahead, Demonic Embrace, potentially even Soul Shoes. If you're even behind, Frostfire into Anathema's Chains. And that's kind of the build you want to go with pretty much every single game, to be honest. Like it's those two kind of build parts are very good. But like I'd say the Tryndamere is okay to go to the boots, but Swifties are also unbelievably good on Tahm as well. Like unbelievably good. Actually, have they made the change with his ult yet? Where it just yeets him along? Yeah, I think it came this one, right? Yeah, it was. You gain movement speed now if you ult an ally.
Yeah. You get a burst of speed.
Yeah.
We were sharing that camp.
I mean, why not? Yeah, so
that's
this
the
is
kill I was
point.
talking about, yeah.
Yeah. So the reason here is because you use your ultimate too early. So here, right, like you have steel caps, you have this, and you have bramble vests actually. Now, you like never ever go into thornmail. Thornmail is probably one of the worst items in the game. It's terrible. It's horrendous. Like you can just sit on the bramble vest. Like you lose so much from thornmail. It's unreal. So let me just have a look at the gold efficiency. It's so bad.
Well, rip my life.
Yeah.
I mean, do you get it if you need it, or you should just never get
You never get it. Like just sit on the bramble vest. Thornmail is 79% gold efficient. So when you buy it, you lose nearly 600 gold. So it's like, unless that passive is worth 600 gold, which it's not. Like, the only time it's viable is on someone like Rammus, who builds nothing but armor. And even then, you still build MR at times as well. But the difference between 40% Grievous Wounds to 60% is really not big enough to warrant 600 gold. So instead, just sit on the Bramble Vest and go for other items that will allow you to either survive for longer and you don't need to reduce their healing as much, or just go into a different item entirely. Like or like go items that will allow you to do more to them so that you just kill them sooner. Dawn Mail is atrocious. It's a terrible item. And it's like here, for example, though, like this, we're just playing way too kind of passive. So we have all of this armor stacked up anyway. We just fight him. Just hit him. We've got so much HP in comparison. Now, one thing to take note of as well is each of these little black bars are 100 HP. So the half HP bar ones, they're 100 HP. The big, thick black ones, they're 1,000 HP. So right here, you have... he has less than 1,000 HP. Well, actually, this is where the black bar is. So he has almost exactly 1,000 HP, and you're sat on, you know, over 2k for the majority, you know? So in that situation, you have such a HP advantage that you can just tickle him to death if you want to. And you just do so much. So here, instead of sharing the camp, just fight him. Because then as soon as he ults, you'll get him low very quick. And then as soon as you hear the sound cue for his ultimate, you just eat him then. You just instantly eat him in that moment. And then as soon as he comes out, because his ult would have ran out, he dies, you know? Also, our W is kind of missed. One thing you want to do with your W is you want to throw your Q first to slow them, and then you want to W from the slow, and it'll make it way harder for them to get out. Because right here, see, you can just walk back, and it's like, you know, we're not really zoning him too well. Also, we did have Q up there, though.
I go to use it, and he kills me.
Yeah, so see, we have Q. Oh, we use Q there. 1, 2, 3.
And then right as it comes up, he kills me.
Yeah, so see here, we had a little bit of time. Yeah.
Right.
So in those moments, what you want to do, especially at this kind of level, just spam Q. Just spam it like crazy. Like, because obviously once you, like, if you get, say, like Grandmaster, Challenger, Pro Play, whatever, then you memorize all the kind of cooldowns anyway. But for now, like, don't worry about that. Just spam that ability because it's important, you know? Same with, like, ultimates and stuff, you know? Like, say, for example, if you're playing Kale and, like, you're getting burst and you're CC locked, you just spam R as hard as you can and just hope and pray that it goes off, you know?
That's...
So we're still 3-3-1. Obviously, he does manage to get quite a lead from here. Ooh, we went Navori. I really like Navori.
On trend?
Yeah.
I definitely yelled at Garrett for going Navori on trend earlier.
I really like it. I mean, I think there's other options that are good, but Navori is, I think, 107% gold efficient. And when you're playing somebody like Tryndamere, 109% gold efficient. So as soon as you buy Navori, you get a kill for free. So it's 300 gold, just completely for free. And because you get so much like crit from your kit already, like you just spam like abilities so hard. Like you can start using E's for like different times and stuff like that. Like, I really, really like it.
How do we calculate gold efficiency, or is there a document you have for gold efficiency?
So you can either look on the wiki, and it'll come up with a cost analysis, or what you can do is you get the cheapest item that gives a stat. So for example, longsword is the cheapest way of getting any AD, which is 350 gold, and then because it gives 10 AD, you divide it by 10, and then you get the amount of 1 AD.
Oh, that's so easy.
Yeah. So
it's just true for everything.
Yeah, you do that for everything, yeah. So you just find the lowest, there's even like, you can find on the wiki as well somewhere, like what is the lowest cost item for each thing. Then, yeah, you just like, for example, like, yeah, and you get all these kind of different values, which is really good. So yeah, that's basically how you work it out. It's very simple. And then you just kind of go, okay, well, there's how much AD is in this item, bum, bum, bum. It's like I did, I'll show you at the end. I did one for all the new items that came out, like when they first came out. It's better to just do it in an Excel sheet. It's really, really handy in there. Because you can use the wiki, but it's edited by people, which it's usually right, but it's always nice to fact check it on your own as well, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point now, you're just a massive frontline tank. I mean, you're getting close to 3,000 HP now. In terms of build, this is, yeah, that's fine. So obviously the reason why MR is really good in this game is because Zac is a champion that he does more damage the longer he survives because his W is percentage max HP. So it's basically like he builds tank and then he does a ridiculous amount of damage because of that. Right, so let's... sorry, I looked away for a second. Let's have a look at this kind of fight. So here we kind of just split off way too hard. Actually, we did go on trend this.
Took their trend and their pike away from
Yeah,
theirs.
this is actually okay though. Yeah. We did ult the pike, which probably
Yeah, I
wasn't the
didn't
play.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
mean to. They were just on top of each other.
Okay, Trinimir just gets popped. Oh, okay, nice W. Okay, that was really good. It was in the path he needed to go to as well, which is good. Okay. Is this fine? What do we build here? Okay. So, Spur Visage, very, very good. Obviously, because of the amount of healing you get out your E, it's just kind of nuts. Yeah, now we're sat on a fat 3.1k HP, so... Okay, I don't know what he was doing, but... So it's good that we're controlling these side lanes here. Especially because mid inhib is already down. And it's actually good that you're on the opposite side of the map, Ben.
Yeah, this was what I was trying to get them to do, and for some reason our bot just kept rotating mid. And I was like, guys, just
Yeah,
go south.
we have the inhib. Stop.
Pick a side lane.
Yeah.
We were like, let's be opposite of each other and just hope they
Yeah.
go to one of us.
Because this is the thing as well, like, you've already got that that inhib, so it's like, there's no point staying. Yeah, unfortunately we don't really have enough range to keep sieging. Like, because Vayne is very short range, 525 attack range, and Castin's melee, so you can't really keep sieging there, so instead just get that second inhib and then all just rotate into Baron. So, an earlier point, so like here, you get this, and then don't keep sieging because, again, too short range. Just instantly go into Baron and then get that. Like, doesn't matter that the Xin Zhao's dead, the Zac is dead as well, and they can't really walk up. And as well, Vayne, you know, she does shred Baron quite quick because she's a attack speed builder, so... Okay, so...
I just figured they didn't need me at the Baron. Might as well
Yeah,
just go
and I mean,
and
you're so
stop the other team
tanky,
from
like,
winning.
it's
Yeah.
completely fine. Like, it's not like they needed you on Baron, you know, like... So, and then that's pretty much game, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So, I mean, that wasn't too bad. Like, obviously, there was still those kind of things that we mentioned in laning phase, and things like your build too. Oh god, this Draven's build is... That's painful right there. Like, although funny enough, this is probably one of the few use cases where Collector's actually good on Draven. Not good, but at least viable, you know. But yeah, so overall, mostly things to do with kind of like laning phase build, stuff like that. Just kind of like managing your wave, things like that. Obviously, I'll upload this one as well to YouTube as well, so you can watch back over it and kind of, again, sticky notes or whatever helps you remember things. So I'll end the video there, and then I'll show you how to